One of the most common questions you begin to ask yourself on the twin flame journey is surprisingly simple, yet deeply charged. Should I have sex? And the truth, although not rigid or absolute, is this: probably not. But if you want to, you could. There is no doctrine here, no punishment, no external rule to follow. This is your spiritual journey, shaped by your own awareness, your own healing, and your own relationship with God. Still, as you move further along this path, you might notice something shifting inside you, something subtle but undeniably powerful. The desire for sex, especially casual or unconscious sex, begins to fall away, not because you are forcing yourself to abstain, but because celibacy starts to feel natural, even comforting. You're evolving, and your energy is evolving with you. Sex, in its unconscious form, is rooted in the primal part of your being, the animalistic self driven by desire, instinct, and survival. This isn't wrong, it's simply how the human body is built. But on the twin flame journey, you're not operating from the lower self anymore. You're awakening into a higher spiritual consciousness, where intention matters more than impulse. When you give in to sexual desire purely from instinct, you tend to drop back into the pain body. The pain body is that energetic space where your wounds live, where fear, lack, trauma, and ego come to life. Sex, especially when approached from boredom, loneliness, avoidance, or craving, can activate that pain body all over again. This is why, for many people on the twin flame path, sexual activity suddenly feels heavy or draining. You might feel disconnected afterward instead of fulfilled. You might feel triggered, emotional, or energetically depleted. This doesn't happen because sex is bad. It happens because you are becoming more conscious, and unconscious acts no longer align with who you are becoming. So your body naturally begins to resist old habits, and one of those habits may very well be sex rooted in desire rather than awareness. As your awakening deepens, you start moving away from the things you once relied on to numb or distract yourself. Your addictions and habits begin to dissolve. The smoking, the drinking, the recreational highs, the emotional eating, the casual and meaningless sexual encounters, they begin to feel empty instead of comforting. The void within you, the one you were always trying to fill, gradually disappears. You no longer need external stimulation to calm the inner ache. You no longer need physical pleasure to soothe the longing. For the first time, you feel safe sitting with yourself, without the desperate need to escape your own mind or body. This is what awakening does. It purifies you, it cleans your vessel, it brings you back into alignment with God. And as this purification unfolds, you start to realize that casual sex, sex that once felt fun or exciting, now feels strange, almost out of place. Not because you're afraid of it, but because it's no longer where your soul lives. You're not rejecting pleasure, you're rejecting unconsciousness. There's a difference. When the void within you closes and your addictive tendencies fade, your entire energetic system shifts. You begin to hold more light, more God energy, more truth, more consciousness. Your body becomes a vessel instead of a battlefield. Sexual energy is spiritual energy. It is creative, expansive, and powerful. But in its unconscious form, it becomes chaotic and draining. In its conscious form, it becomes sacred. This is why celibacy often becomes natural on the twin flame journey. Not forced, not imposed, not required by some external belief system. Natural. You begin to protect your energy, not out of fear, but out of reverence. You begin to understand that what you allow into your body affects your soul. You feel the truth in your physical and energetic space. Your body is not just a body, it is a temple. As you cleanse energetically, you are able to hold more divine frequency. You experience deeper inner peace. You feel more connected to yourself and to Source. And the more connected you are, the harder it becomes to engage in sex that is purely physical or unconscious. A common fear that arises at this stage is the idea that celibacy is permanent, that awakening automatically means you will never enjoy physical intimacy again. But that's not how this works. This journey isn't about lifelong abstinence, it's about consciousness. It's not that you will never have sex again, it's that when you do, it will come from a completely different place within you. Not from loneliness, not from fear, not from craving, not from the need to feel wanted or validated, not from habit or distraction or escape. Instead, it will come from presence, alignment, and deep awareness. It will be an extension of your spiritual truth rather than a reaction to emotional emptiness. You will choose intimacy, not fall into it. You will honor your body, not use it. You will move from love, not lack. And in that space, sexual energy becomes something sacred, something deeply connected to God, to creation, to your highest self. Ironically, the moment you detach from the need for sexual gratification is often the moment you begin healing the wounded masculine and feminine energies within you. The masculine within you stops seeking external stimulation and begins anchoring into inner stillness. The feminine within you stops seeking external validation and begins resting in self-love. This is the inner reunion. This is the magnetism that aligns your twin flame connection without effort. This is the point where you embody wholeness. And when wholeness arrives, celibacy stops feeling like deprivation. It becomes spaciousness, an opening for divine energy to flow through you without distortion. When you eventually choose to be sexual again, it will not be from the fragmented self you once were. It will be from the integrated self you are becoming. In the end, the question of celibacy on the twin flame journey is not about rules or morality. It is not about right or wrong, purity or shame. It is about awareness. It is about intention. It is about energy. No one can tell you what you should or shouldn't do, not even your twin flame. Only you know when your body, mind, and soul are truly aligned. So, should you have sex during the twin flame journey? Probably not. At least not until it feels aligned with your awakened state of being. But could you? Yes, if it comes from love, from consciousness, and from clarity. This is your spiritual path, your evolution, your awakening. And as long as you move with awareness, you will always be moving in the right direction. If you're ready to go deeper into your journey and receive personalized guidance, you can book a one-on-one chat session with me, which I offer on a pay what feels right to you basis, using the link in the description. Stay present, stay aligned, and remember, love is your truth.